she controlled everything. I mean, she was the boss, and she knew everybody. And
she was a hard worker. Like, she did everything in that agency.
Mom was always busy. There was never a time that someone came in the office that she didn't have 100 things to do. She would always set things aside, making sure that her clients felt like they were her friends, like, because they were.
They adored her. And you don't like your insurance agent, but they adored her. She knew everyone's kids' names, what cars they drove, the name of their dog.
She just had a tremendous empathy and connection.
It was a Sunday, and her son Liam had called me. He had found my number in her phone. That's when he let me know that his mother had passed. And it was, it was a hard thing.
I just remember Jenny, and she just said, "Don't worry about the business." So she really softened the blow.
First, it was scary because we thought it's corporate stepping in and they're going to take over and change everything, and they didn't.
It wasn't a catastrophe for us. Losing Janie was a catastrophe, but we knew we were on firm ground. We knew that our partnership with the Leavitt Group, and I'm not just saying this, we knew we could count on them.
One of the first issues that we ran into in the beginning was that we really didn't have anyone in place. We were in the process of finding someone, but to that point, we really hadn't identified anyone to be able to take over for Janie.
Our greatest concern was to take care of all of the clients that were friends.
We thought, this might be a good solution with Leavitt United. I had reached out to Brian and I just said, look, do you know of any agency, or do you have any kind of, do you have producers in your office that you think might be a good perpetuation solution?
When I heard about what happened to Janie, we were all insurance brokers, and we know how we would want to be treated if it happened to me. And so, just the Leavitt way, it's about perpetuation. This is not a company that buys agencies to sell, turn around and sell. We're privately held, and it's just the foundation of this company is alignment. And so it made perfect sense for me to come over and just help in any way I could.
They impressed us with how much they appreciated the business and its integrity and and that they weren't going to disturb or change anything right away. They were just going to try to take over some of those responsibilities.
I just kind of drove around Minden and sat with people, and I think that helped them know that Leavitt was working on a solution.
The transition and the continued success of the agency depended on the personality of the person that was brought in. And I think it was comforting that they made such an effort to find a person that would come in and care about her clients.
We couldn't have found a better fit for this agency. Todd immediately hit it off well with Janie's husband, Ferg, and his daughter, Chrissy, and everyone he met, the staff all loved him. And so it was a perfect solution.
And Todd, we're from Nevada. We don't trust anybody from California,
True.
But Todd actually was so good. And he convinced us very early on that he wanted to be here, he wanted to do this, and that he would do his utmost to hold up the standards that Janie had established. And as far as I know, he has.
Leavitt Corporate, Jenny Leavitt, Vance, Brent, everything was seamless. It was great. I mean, they definitely had the interest of me as well as the agency, but they wanted to make sure I was okay with relocating and coming here, and that things were going to be, they assured me things would be okay, that they were behind me and the agency 100%. And they've always done that. I'll be here 7 years in March, and it's always been, a lot of support.
The aligning of interests between the co-owners and the Leavitt Group is our foundation.